What's up, everyone? Open world games, when they're done right, they stop being just a map you run around in. They become places that feel real, places where you genuinely want to explore every corner. Not because some quest marker told you to, but because the world itself makes you curious. That's what we're talking about today. Not just the biggest maps or the prettiest graphics, but the open worlds themselves that feel alive. The ones where NPCs have routine, where the weather changes how you play, where you can get lost for hours just existing in the space. So let's get into it. Ghost of Yotei. If you played Ghost of Tsushima back in 2020, you know just what I'm talking about, the game that nailed the samurai fantasy. But Yotei takes everything that worked and pushes it further. Set in 1603, over 300 years after the Jin Sakai story, you're playing as Atsu, alone mostly hunting down a gang that murdered her family 16 years earlier. Right away, that's different energy than Ghost of Tsushima. This isn't about honoring or defending your homeland, this is just personal. The game world expands to historic Hokkaido and Mount Yotei in this consistent presence on the horizon, anchoring almost every vista. The environmental diversity is insane. You're going from snowy mountain ridges to fields of flowers to volcanic terrain, and the weather system makes it all feel dynamic. Rain, snow, and even aura lights up the night sky. It's generally one of the most beautiful game worlds I've experienced this year. Combat feels very similar but evolved. Instead of Tsushima's 4 katana stances, it gives you an arsenal, dual-wielded katanas, a Yara spear, a Gamma chain weapons, and even match guns. The variety keeps things fresh. You're constantly adapting your approach. There's even a wolf companion who can assist you in both combat and stealth missions with a cool tactical layer. What really stands out is the non-linear story structure. You choose the order you confront except the first and final boss, which are already set. That player agency makes your revenge quests feel more personal. You're not just following waypoints, you're deciding how the story unfolds. Now, is it perfect? The side content does have some repetition. Bounty hunting is the best new, but activities like following foxes to shrines and minor tweaks, and after a while, you've seen most of what they have to offer. That being said, the main story and the exploration are strong. These become optional distractions rather than mandatory chores. Ghost of Yotei isn't just a sequel, it's proof that Sucker Punch listened to feedback and refined their formula. It's a lived-in world that rewards your curiosity.
Serene palaces towering above, and thousands of people with their own stories to tell.
World Meat. Here's a free-to-play game that has no business looking this good, dropping you into China's 5 dynasties and the 10 kingdom periods, the 10th century, and it's a world filled with branching stories, side quests, and choices that actually matter. And yeah, it's free to play, which usually means compromises, but NetEase and Everstone Studio went all in with this one. The game is set during a turbulent area in the 10th century China, and you're playing as a young sword master uncovering the mysteries of your own identity. The story mode alone promises over 150 hours of solo gameplay, which is wild for a free-to-play game, but what makes it so special is how interactive the world is. You can light grass fields on fire, throw a bear into a rock wall, and watch it crumble. The physics and the environmental destruction adds this playful chaos that most open world games don't bother with. The combat is fast, flexible, and stylish. You can master traditional weapons like swords, spears, and blades, or get creative with the umbrellas and fans. There are 12 martial arts sets and 23 mystical techniques. The motion capture martial arts choreography is legitimate. Fights feel cinematic without sacrificing responsiveness. The world design is stunning. The key is where your journey begins. Peaceful plains, quiet villages, hidden mysteries. But beneath that calm surface are caves filled with martial arts secrets and forgotten legends. And then you got the cafe, which sprawls ancient city alive with lights and sounds. The contrast between peaceful countrysides and bustling civilization give the world some depth. And here's where things get interesting. You can play through it as a story-focused solo journey, team up with 4 players, or dive into an MMO-style online space with thousands of other players. The co-op mode is seamless and it plays like a traditional action RPG, and the world remains instant, so you only encounter other players if you choose so. Now, the free-to-play model, there's an optional battle pass and paid cosmetic items and a monthly subscription, but the developers say they won't affect your abilities or skills. From what I've seen, it seems legit. The monetization is a cost focus, which is how free-to-play should work. The downside is online game only, so you need a PlayStation Network account and internet connection at all times. If the servers go down or you lose connection, you're just out of luck. Also, being free to play means the game will evolve through seasonal updates, so content might feel incomplete at launch compared to the traditional single player experiences. But for free, Where the Worlds Meet is absolutely worth trying. It's a genuine open world RPG with AAA production values. Far Cry 4 deserves recognition for one simple reason: the setting. Taking place in the Himalayan region, Far Cry 4 elevates open world sightseeing to new heights. It feels alive in a way that later games kinda lost. The wildlife system is incredible. Honey badgers, tigers, and multiple bear species is basically a virtual zoo where everything wants to kill you, and you can ride elephants as a mode of transversal, which never stops being fun. There's this chaotic energy where you'll be mid-mission and a rhino will just charge through an enemy outpost doing your job for you. The variety of the map makes exploration different than other Far Cry games. You're scaling mountains, you're using the camera feature that lets you document wildlife, which is naturalist layer to the chaos. Pagan Min is one of the series' best villains, charismatic, unstoppable, and weirdly charming. The story has its ups and downs, but the world itself carries the experience. Dynamic events like eagles attacking you mid-climb or honey badgers hitting your convoy keeps you on your toes. The Far Cry formula fatigue is real. If you play Far Cry 3 or 5, you know the loop: climb the tower, reveal the map, clear the outpost, and repeat. Far Cry 4 doesn't reinvent that wheel, but the Himalayan setting and the wildlife density make it one of the more memorable entries.
Now I'm in charge! I apologize if science is not your forte.
I'm a fighter, sir.
When Red Dead Redemption launched, there weren't many video games representing the Wild West. Rockstar absolutely nailed it, channeling the GTA experience into a gritty American frontier. John's journey across the Wild West is still one of the game's best stories, but what makes the world special is how reactive it feels. You can spend hours taming wild horses, but the world itself consistently distracts you with dynamic events like bank robberies and public hangings. The random encounters feel organic and not scripted. The three major regions each have its distinct identity. The transition from dusty tier towns to snowy mountains of tall trees gives the world scope. In the final act in Blackwater, where civilization is creeping in and the old ways are dying, still hits hard. Red Dead Redemption's version of Wild West feels dangerous. Wildlife, bandits, and weather, everything can kill you if you're not careful, but it also feels beautiful. The sunsets over Hagen's Steed, riding through the thunderstorms in Mexico, cinematic without feeling artificial. The only real downside is that it's a 2010 game. If you play Red Dead Redemption first, going back can feel mechanically dated. The shooting is clunkier, the movement is stiff compared to the modern standards, but the world itself, the atmosphere, and the storytelling, those haven't aged. Legends of Zelda: The Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom may share portions of its match with Breath of the Wild, but new mechanics and the expanded cast of NPCs make it feel fresh like a new adventure. Nintendo took the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" approach and then said, but let's add Skylands and underground depths. Ultra Hand is the standout addition, letting players fuse objects together to build delightfully bizarre devices. The creativity this unlock is insane. You're building flying machines, bridges, and whatever your imagination can handle. The fact that Nintendo gives you these tools and lets you break their game is peak game design. The world itself feels more populated than Breath of the Wild. Familiar regions return, but the Skylands and underground depths add entirely new spaces to explore. The depths are especially atmospheric, dark, oppressive, and filled with gloom enemies. It's the same rule, but vertical depth gives it new life. Where Tears of the Kingdom excels is making exploration feels rewarding. There's no quest log telling you where to go. You see something interesting on the horizon and you go check it out. That pure childlike curiosity is what makes the world feel alive. The downside, the story structure can be repetitive. You're basically doing the Breath of the Wild setup again, finding sages, powering up, and preparing for the final fight. If you wanted a radically different narrative approach, this might disappoint. Also, performance issues. The Switch is still struggling with this game. Frame drops in the Konark Forest, and stuttering is intense combat and is noticeable. But despite the technical hiccups, Tears of the Kingdom is one of the most creative open worlds ever made. It trusts you to experiment and rewards that trust.
Tell the governor the payments will not increase.
It's up to you where your loyalties lie.
Star Wars Outlaws. This generation saw the first true open world Star Wars game, not counting the MMO, and honestly, Outlaws absolutely delivers on the Star Wars fantasy. It oozes the original trilogy energy. Tatooine looks and feels like it was pulled straight from A New Hope. You're playing as a scoundrel trying to pull off a massive heist. The story takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, so the galaxy feels like it's lived in and dangerous. Massive has nailed the aesthetic. The planetary exploration is great. Each world, Tatooine, Kimi, and so on and so forth, feels distinct. Cities are bustling with cantinas, markets, and seedy underworld dealings. New planets make some strong additions, expanding Star Wars lore through the solid world building and environmental storytelling. The reputation system adds depth. You're dealing with different criminal syndicates, and your choices affect how they treat you. Screw over the Hutts, and you'll have bounties on your head. Help the Pikes, and they'll give you access to restricted areas. It makes the reality feels more interconnected. Combat is where Outlaws stumble. The gameplay is serviceable but not great. The mechanic works better, but the enemy AI can be inconsistent. Sometimes they're hyper aware, other times they're oblivious. It's not game breaking, but it's noticeable. Also, the speeder bike on planets can feel slow. You're covering large distances and sometimes it drags. Fast travel will help, but I wish movement felt snappier. Despite flaws, Star Wars Outlaws is the Star Wars game fans have been wanting for years. It's not perfect, but it captures the scoundrel fantasy beautifully. Just because it doesn't have a number attached to it doesn't mean it's not a mainline entry worth playing. The Beast is a tech line refining their formula into something more focused and reactive. This is a lush wooden region of the Western Alpha. This dark and moody location offers a dramatic contrast to Dying Light's bright metropolis. The forest environment changes how you play. Dense vegetation provides cover, but also hides infected. The verticality of trees and cliffs adds parkour challenges. If you're feeling brave, you can travel into the ATV. Vehicle transverse in the zombie game is risky but satisfying. Mowing down infected hordes while speeding through the Alpas never gets old. The Beast takes day and night cycles seriously. Daytime is manageable, infectors are slow and less aggressive, but nighttime, this is when the world becomes terrifying. The infected are faster and more dangerous, and the darkness makes navigation treacherous. It's this risk versus reward dynamic that makes Dying Light special. The story focuses on Kyle Crane returning after being experimented on, giving him beast-like abilities. The narrative is darker and more personal than previous entries. The pacing is tighter. This isn't a 100-hour open-world game. It respects your time. The downsides, if you don't vibe with Dying Light parkour heavy combat, the Beast won't change your mind. It's still about running, climbing, and smashing zombie heads. Also, the open world isn't as dense with side content. It's more focused on main experience, which some might see as lacking. But for Dying Light fans, the Beast is exactly what you want. Refined mechanics, beautiful setting, and signature parkour zombie chaos. The Crew Motorfest. While the Crew and the Crew 2 wowed players with their drivable recreation of the entire United States, Motorfest zooms in on Hawaii, and honestly, the focus pays off. The scale isn't one-to-one, but the island major landmarks and defining features, whether you're racing down highways in a Lamborghini or revving through the volcanic islands in an off-road Bronco, the environmental variety is excellent. Beach highways, mountain passes, jungle trails, urban streets. Hawaii's diversity makes every race feel different. A free update even added Maui, giving you more vacation-worthy scenery to tear through. The post-launch support has been solid. Seasonal content, new format is fun. Instead of traditional progression system, you're participating in themed festivals. Each festival's focused on different car types and racing styles. It keeps things fresh and lets you jump into what interests you. The physics feels arcadey, which is perfect for this type of game. You're not simulating a real driving, you're having fun. Drifting around hard-pin turns, catching air off on volcanic cliffs and threading through palm trees is pure racing game escapism. The downsides, the always online requirement is annoying. If the servers hiccups or you lose connection, you're booted off your game. Also, the AI can be inconsistent. Some races feel perfectly balanced, others feels like the AI is cheating or completely incompetent. But as a chill racing game with beautiful open world, the Crew Motorfest delivers. It's basically a Hawaiian vacation simulator where you just happen to be racing cars.
With exciting new ship parts to discover, salvage parts from drifting space wrecks, build heavy ship types with new vertical parts.
Procedurally generated games often feel lifeless. No Man's Sky was definitely that at launch, but years after updates have transformed it into one of the most impressive comebacks in gaming history. The sheer volume of content makes it work. Multiple biomes dramatically vary millions of planets, ensuring you see worlds no one else has. The sense of discovery never fades. Every planet has its own ecosystem, weather patterns, and resources. Ongoing updates have added services of vehicles, base building, and even more ways to bring personality to a universe endlessly supply of planets. If you're not exploring, you're settling, buying bases, establishing trade homes, farming resources. No Man's Sky has become a space survival sandbox. The space exploration feels rewarding, finding rare planets, cataloging alien species, upgrading your ship. The progression loop's addictive, and the community aspect is super cool. You also stumble upon bases built by other players, see systems that they explored, and planets that they named. The art direction helps sell the procedural generation. Those vibrant alien skies, the ancient ruins, everything has this retro sci-fi aesthetic that makes even similar looking planets feel distinct. Also, the story abstract is so philosophical. If you're looking for a tight narrative, No Man's Sky isn't that, but it's more about creating your own story through exploration. But as an open world sandbox, No Man's Sky has earned the redemption. Hello Games turned disaster launch into one of gaming's best live service models.
I feel so welcome each time that I tap my hat.
Fallout, we probably wouldn't have a Fallout series today without seminal Fallout in 2008. This game defined what modern Fallout would become. Despite its post-apocalyptic wasteland, the game's toe-tapping radio, quirky humor, and the weirdest questlines interject plenty of charm. The capital wasteland feels oppressive and hopeful at the same time. Ruined monuments, makeshift settlements, and super mutant threats is bleak but also weirdly optimistic. The capital wasteland feels more alive than a typical open world map thanks to the dense activity, memorable NPCs, and consistent discoveries around every corner. You can't walk 5 minutes without stumbling into something, a random encounter, a hidden vault, a questline that sends you across the map. The questline is peak Bethesda. Every location has personality. Moral choices feel weighty. Do you detonate the nukes? Do you save the enslaved citizens? The decisions stick with you. The VATS combat system was revolutionary at the time. Pausing combat to target specific body parts made the clunky gameplay more tactical. It's dated now, but in 2008, it bridged the gap between RPG and shooter perfectly. The downsides, Fallout 3 has aged mechanically. The shooting itself feels stiff, the AI is basic, and the graphics are muddy. Also, the main story is black and white, morality feels simplistic compared to New Vegas. Whether you're a hero or a villain without much nuisance. But as a world to explore, Fallout 3 is captivating. It's a template for everything that came after that.
It would be a shame to get blood all over my nice new outfit.
Batman Arkham City. Speaking of dense world, Arkham City is packed. The map is big enough to feel free while you're gliding around Batman's cape. You're still small enough that every block feels meaningful thanks to 400 plus raider challenges and plenty of other secrets. Rocksteady understood that bigger doesn't mean better. Arkham City is a prison distinct walled off in the heart of Gotham. That contained chaos makes every square foot count. You're gliding between buildings, grappling rooftops, diving into sewers. That verticality is perfect. The Joker and Harley Quinn's intercom taunts add personality. The world feels lived in because characters react to your presence. Thugs recognize you, villains taunt you, and the environment tells stories. Graffiti, crime scenes, and environmental clues is Batman's detective work done right. The combat is gold standard for action games. Free flow combat system is responsive, brutal, and satisfying. Countering, dodging, and gadget integration, every fight feels like a choreographed dance. And the boss encounters, Mr. Freeze fight alone is worth the price of admission. The variety of side contents keep you engaged. Tracking serial killers, solving riddlers' death traps, hunting down political prisoners, it never feels like it's padding. Every side mission has weight to it. Some of the downsides are that the Catwoman sections break pacing. They're not bad, but they interrupt Batman's momentum. Also, if you're a completionist, the Riddler's challenges can feel excessive. 400 plus trophies is a lot, but Arkham City stands as one of the definitive Batman open world games. It's the perfect size, perfect pacing, and captures the Dark Knight fantasies flawlessly.
Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path?
Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Assassin's Creed series finally ventured in Japan, and this time the players control two protagonists, Naoe Akonichi and Yasuke, African-American samurai inspired by the historical figure. Naoe has traditional parkour movement and grappling hook for mobility. Yasuke uses brute force to smash through doors and environmental obstacles. The dual protagonist system works brilliantly. Naoe is pure stealth, silent for assassinations, rooftop transversal, and hidden blade skills. Yasuke is combat focused, heavy weapons, breaking through defenses, intimidating enemies. You can switch between them at any time, which lets you approach missions however you want. Dynamic lighting and weather effects add a surprising life to this world. Ponds freeze in winters, ice fields flood in the spring. The seasonal system changes more than aesthetics. It affects stealth options, patrol patterns, and traversal. Frozen lakes become paths, snow muffles footsteps, and rain reduces visibility. Set in 16th century Japan towards the end of the Song period, the world captures the feudal Japan beautiful. Castle towns, grassland mountains are brought to life with Ubisoft Quebec's overhauled Anvil engine. Wind blows in real time, cherry blossoms flutter, and the game takes place over 4 seasons. The castle infiltration missions are the highlight. Conquering a castle means eliminating the samurai Dasho commanders, which unlocks chests and powerful gear. These fortified locations feel like puzzles, finding entry points and avoiding patrols striking traps. Some of the downsides, the game has a controversial development cycle with multiple delays and cultural sensitivity issues. Some felt that the portrayal of certain historical elements was handled poorly. Also, the map size comparable to Assassin's Creed Origins means there's a lot of ground to cover. Side content can feel repetitive if you're trying to 100% every region, but as an open world Japanese experience, Assassin's Creed Shadows delivered. It's the game fans have wanted for over a decade, and that's the list. 12 open world games where the world itself feels like it's a character. These aren't just maps with activities scattered, they're places that you want to exist. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification. I'll upload gaming content almost daily, and your support means everything. Also, if you want to catch me live, I stream on Twitch regularly. Same name, AndreTheAlpha. Come hang out and talk games, and let's build this community together. Link is in the bio. What open worlds do you want to come back to? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't checked out our previous open world lists, those are linked in the description as well. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay alpha.